If more of you supported the show, I'd be less sick of podcasts.
The blah blah blah.
Sending out good vibes.
The blah blah blah.
Good vibes.
Blah
Good vibes.
blah. The blah blah blah.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
108 breaths of deep gratitude and prayers for guidance and protection. And put on a didgeridoo and shamanic drumming track. Shivers or vibrations and stuff like that.
I think the Bryce part is very much worth it because you have a lot of no light pollution. You get to see everything in the sky for what it is. But also the little in-betweens would be kind of cool to refresh.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Breathwork Show. We are going to be chatting with a bunch of people that came to our Contact at the Cabin event in Utah here a little bit later. Sort of a roundup app that a couple of the attendees wanted to do. So we did it.
Yeah, it was fun too. Lots to talk about. I mean, we were talking about the Serpent Mound and some of the trouble that Graham Hancock got in over there. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, fascinating to talk to all the people at our events.
Totally. And we just launched the first Canada one. So
Nice.
some people are already jumping on that.
That's great. So that's going to be in around close to Calgary, a couple hours away from Calgary.
It's about 3 hours from Calgary, I think, over in Invermere.
So Calgary Airport.
Calgary Airport, yes.
Yeah. Or just for all the people in Canada that might not be able to fly, just drive.
Yeah, that's what it's mostly for, is for all those Canadians that can't travel. So we figured we'd do a Canadian event. And if you guys want to jump on that, head over to contactatthecabin.com. You can check out all the events over there. There is, I think, one spot left for resale for that Montana trip, which is coming up in just 3 weeks. 3 weeks from tomorrow, Graham will be kicking that one off for us. And then, of course, there's a couple Scablands trips in the fall. The Egypt one is sold out. We did start a waiting list for the Eclipse event, which we're still figuring out exactly where that's going to be, but it's right in the Snake Bros backyard.
So when's that?
That's April 8th, 2024.
Is that going to replace like the Canyon one that year or?
Too soon to tell.
Yeah.
Probably not. The eclipse will be its own sort of thing. But the eclipse is sort of just centered around that new moon. I see the eclipse as being more like a lot of camping and not really leaving because traffic will be an absolute nightmare.
Really? It'll be that many people piled in there? Is this as good as the last eclipse? Like,
it's the same thing. So if
Is it the
Oregon
same
is
thing?
any like sign of what the traffic will be like there down in Texas, it'll be a nightmare. So we're planning to get there a few days early and leave the day after.
so that'll just be like kind of a party. Like we'll just be hanging out with everybody there.
Yeah, that'll be pretty much a hangout at the Eclipse event, I think, in a lot of ways. We probably won't do any real traveling around. And but I'm waiting for the bros to figure out exactly what we're going to do there, waiting to hear back from Kyle. But we will be doing something for that, so keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, there's a 420 bash for next year's Utah on sale, and the Shasta trip's on sale now. It's all over contactatthecabin.com if you guys want to get in on one of those trips.
Yeah, I wanted to mention quickly before I forget, for Canadians that aren't flying, there is a Rider Express. It's like a bus. I don't know if they took over the old Greyhound and just sort of relabeled everything, but my mom has traveled on the bus. It seems pretty cool. Very, very casual, comfortable ride. Rider Express is traveling all over Western Canada. Anyways, I mean, you could go from Calgary to Saskatchewan. I haven't got it open now for the whole itinerary, but it goes from, Vancouver all over. And, they kept their,
Did they give you a break on the ticket for this
they kept
commercial?
their
or-
dirty paws off that one. So,
You should have said,
somehow
I'll
they-
mention your shit on the show for 20% off this ticket.
yeah, exactly. No.
It was pretty quick, too. I was surprised. Your mom got here it was almost straight through.
No, it's like a long
Sometimes
ride.
it's like the milk
15
run.
hours,
That's
16
not bad
hours.
for a bus run, man. I remember the one from here to Manitoba taking like 23 hours for somebody because it's like going up off the thing into all these small towns that aren't on the highway.
Right. Yeah. My mom did say there was a couple of those. Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba.
So it looks like it goes to stops from Ontario, BC, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. So I don't know. It's going all over. This must be like the old or the new Greyhound or something. It's called riderexpress.ca. So from Ontario, it's got all the like Hamilton, Kingston, Kitchener, Niagara Falls, on and on and on. Manitoba, Winnipeg, Brandon, Saskatchewan. Yeah, so it's I guess it goes everywhere except for Quebec and east of Quebec.
Yeah. Fuck Quebec. Just kidding. We love you guys. Pretty old over there, I think.
Anyways,
someone was telling me that's the oldest population per capita in North America. Older than Florida.
Yeah, that
even.
makes sense. Yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Speculate. Here we go.
I was gonna speculate.
Seems like you're gonna pull something out of your hat.
Yeah, well, it is an older. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know why. I feel like they just stay there. People just stay there and retire there or something. I don't know.
As opposed to other places they leave.
No, that's not right either, though. That's not right. We came from Quebec. I mean, my parents left and came out west. So
maybe it's because young people leave and old people stay. Who knows? You let us know.
Yeah. It could be that. Yeah.
Did you have a good long weekend?
It was okay. Taking care of some COVID family members. Still struggling with some of that, and just
be able to get some money
picking away at work a bit. I've been reading a little bit. My voice is good enough to read already, so I've been narrating an awesome book called Lectures on Ancient Philosophy by Manly P. Hall. Fantastic.
Secret Teachings of All Ages, Volume 2. Oh, kinda.
Want me to read a little excerpt I picked out?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Is it the quote? Did I put
It's the quote. Yeah, it's the quote.
Really? This is the quote? All right. There you go.
It's the profound quote of the week. Darren, can you guess it? It's the profound quote of the week.
Well, you don't have. You can guess this.
I guarantee I can guess it. Yeah. Why'd you have to spoil it?
But it's I should have just done it. Well, because I don't know. I wanted to advertise it. So I was reading some chapters, like one called Demigods and Supermen, and Mathematics, the Master Science, Emerson's Concept of the Oversoul, Exoteric and Esoteric Knowledge, and then Symbolism, the Universal Language, and Ancient Mystery Rituals, and Philosophic Consideration of Man. But I mean, it's talking about, truths and the search for truth and all. I mean, it seems very relevant from today, and it's quite old. I mean, it goes back to the 1930s or 40s. But here's a quote from this chapter here. So, from all this, it becomes evident that thought is its own reward, that no man can actually profit from the labors of others, but must work out his own mental salvation with untiring diligence. The purpose of a great mind is to inspire accomplishment. So, and then he goes on later on to say, because they're talking about thoughts and truth, and he says, you who would discover the inner mysteries of life, depart from the concepts of the many. Be not followers of strange gods, but seek reality according to the impulses of your own higher rationality. Become creative thinkers, not simply followers of blind cults. Admit enslavement to no mind. Read the words of the wise, but think for yourself. Attend to the conversations of the learned, but let your conclusions be your own. Be not hasty to condemn, but accept only that which you are capable of reasoning.
Oh no, we lost Graham. What the fuck? How does this even happen? Well, it happens when Graham starts podcasting from home. I don't know. It looks like my internet's still good. I know the internet was out earlier. But I'm going to guess that quote was by Manly P. Hall, because that's the dude who wrote the book. And other than that, I'm just going to wait for Graham to come back. You think he even knows? He might not even know. He might just be... And Graham's back. Welcome back, buddy. What happened?
Well, you just said your internet was down before we started recording, and then what did it do? Just go around the neighborhood to mine, and then
Did yours
Just
go
a
down?
wave of-
Is that what happened?
Yeah. When my internet went down, I had to go back up and reboot the modem.
modem? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
isn't
what
that
happened to
weird?
mine too. It was all red. I wonder if my other internet's down because I have two, so I didn't check.
So did
it.
you? I was in the middle of, I read all this thing and then looking at you, and I'm like, hey, where's the response?
Well,
How
I
come you're
guessed
not
that it was
responding to
Manly
me?
P. Hall, and I also guessed that I was like, I bet he's still talking.
Yeah. So how long did I break off?
Oh, I don't know. It was
Did I
good.
okay, so I don't have to reread it or anything?
No, definitely not.
Oh,
Definitely
okay.
not.
Yeah, definitely not.
I had a good long weekend. I shot a moose,
Oh, did you?
hauled it out of the bush, butchered it with the kids. Yeah, it was a good time.
What? Really? Wow. Where'd you do that?
I got
Is
a
that a
spot.
secret?
I got a secret
It's a
spot.
secret. Jesus.
You've been there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's not easy.
it's not easy. That's not bad. I don't really. It's easy to haul. It really don't bother me none. I mean, it's hard work, and then moment you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, but it's not.
But you
but
just
the problem
put
is,
one foot in front of the other.
yeah, but it's not it's flat ground. I mean, it's a.
No,
it's
this
a
is very steep hill. This is
foresty,
probably a
hilly
150 foot ascent.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
Well,
good
that's
for
good.
me.
Good for you. How big is it?
I don't know. It's decent size. Yeah.
Wow, really? A male or
Yeah. It's in the,
the garage?
it's in the, well, yeah, it's in the cooler now, sitting for a couple of days, and then I'll pack it up, cut it into roasts and steaks. And
Yeah, nice.
I think I'll just freeze the stuff I'm going to do into sausage for now. May have a sausage making day down the road.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It was fun. Well, I don't know
Yep.
if fun's a word, but
I'm still trying to heal some people from COVID. It's hitting some people pretty hard here.
Ugh, I got some bones. Maybe you could boil
Some
them up.
fresh broth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I already ditched them, so I don't have them. But I could tell you where I ditched them. You go throw them in the trunk of your car. The yotes are probably on them already, though. There was grizzlies in the neighborhood, though, that night I shot it. So,
Really? Eh, wow.
yeah, Nate seen him when he was driving the truck around. But we didn't see him, so it's fine. All good. It was dark, though. New moon, dark sky.
Hey, right after we did that Rockfin episode with the lunar timekeeping one with Bernie Taylor.
It didn't even come out yet,
Right?
though. So
No, it hasn't come out yet. But didn't he talk about the dark? Was that the good time to hunt when they dark, or is that harder? It's harder in the new moon, right? Isn't it? Because they're not out wandering around.
I don't know. You're not allowed to hunt in the dark, so
Oh,
it'd be pretty hard to hunt in the
oops.
dark. So
Okay,
I
sorry.
hunt them in the light during the
Oh.
day.
Okay, sorry.
But it's still dark when you're coming out.
Right. Okay.
We were out of the woods already by the time it got dark. And driving. So that's fine when you're driving.
All right, on.
What else you got?
Oh, that's about it. I mean, I thought we are going to keep this pretty quick.
Keep it
gonna
short
jump on
and
the
sweet.
Union. I'm going to jump on the Union and the Wanted and talk about UFOs, I think, here. And
Are you a UFO expert now?
no.
You must be
not at all.
getting there. You've been like
Not at all.
engrossed
Never,
in it
never.
for 30 years. Ever? You can never be an expert.
Never.
There you have it. All right. Well, support the show. GoAmerica.ca/support. Check out the audiobooks. Adultbrain.ca. Join the chats. GoAmerica.ca/chats. Get in on a trip. I mean, Egypt is sold out and there's like 45 people on the wait list. So it's probably, that ship has sailed. But there was so much interest in it that we'll probably do another one in 2 or 3 years. I think it looks like a South America thing might pop up at some point too. So, but we'll go back. So if you missed out, don't freak out. We'll do another trip. You'll get to go to Egypt. And you can always head over to contact@thecabin.com, jump on a different trip. Come to someplace else. Come to California, come to Montana, come to Washington, come to Utah, come wherever the fuck you want.
Canada.
Come to Canada. Come to Canada in the winter. So that'll be cool. And cold. And Brandon Powell will be there. He loves the cold. So we'll see if he wants to sleep outside. I think that's about it. We'll keep this short and sweet. A little special episode during our long weekend up here in Canada. We hope you enjoy this thing. We'll be back to our regular scheduled programming next week. But enjoy the chat with all the CAC Anise.
Oh, we do a big shout out to the rest of the people?
Oh, big shout out to the team that helped pull it
yeah.
off. Of course, Brothers of the Serpent, Kyle and Russ Allen, and the Cooks, Keith and Gage and Mason and Dave Mathisen.
The Watcher and Laura were there from the Brothers of the Serpent too.
Yeah, that's right. The Watcher and Snake Wife, and of course Dave Mathisen and Brad and Powell having a time with us.
The Cooks.
Driving vans around. Bruce donated a extension cord to us. Keith and Gage were there cooking for us. We had a fucking time. I think Bruce is still whining about his leg from that hike they went on, but I mean, he knew it was 15 miles before he went on it. So
Ben from Uncharted X too was with us.
Ben, coming to Egypt, coming to Scablands. Yeah, it was a good time.
Mentioned Mason too. He was.
I
helping
mentioned
cooking.
Mason. Yeah. Do you even listen when I talk, or?
No, I don't.
You just zone out and think about Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Oh no, it's not Dungeons and Dragons night. So, all right, enjoy this little call-in show we did. Okay, guys, welcome back to the Great America Show. We are not going to be talking to anyone later. A little bit of a special show where we talk to everyone that was in Utah. Not everyone, but a bunch of people. Not the hosts, but actually the attendees. I mean, if we had Dave Mathisen on here, he would just take up the whole time, just blabbing. But it'd be great stuff. It'd be great content, but no one else would get in. So we figured
he
we
might
would
be here.
Did you tell him to come? You might just
I
show
just
up.
put it in the chat.
No, he don't
he's
go
in
in the
that chat.
Zoom. Nah, if you look at him, he'll be like, has been seen within the last several months. He pops onto there just for the events, into the, the Telegram.
Yeah.
So we got some people here lined up in the waiting room, and we're just going to go for an hour or an hour and a half and chat with people about what they thought about the Utah CAC, which, of course, people want to get in on one of the tours. We are doing these all the time now, a few times a year. Head over to contact@thecabin.com. We got the 420 Bash in Utah next year, which will be the same event we're chatting about here tonight. And Magic on the Mountain. That's good to go. We got, there's like one spot available for Montana coming up here just in a few weeks. If you want to hang out with Randall Carlson, some Scabland tours in the fall, a waiting list for Egypt, which is now sold out. But all good things, good times.
And that Shasta one is the one you're talking about with Magic on the Mountains at Shasta this time, right? Or I guess it's not at Shasta. It's close to Shasta.
Close to Shasta. It's in Redding, California, between Shasta and Lamont or some other mountain.
Yeah,
maybe there's two mountains right there.
Cool.
So we'll probably have optional hikes to the mountains on a couple of days, and we'll have a gay old time. All right. So should I just let everybody in at once?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. I wonder which Drew it is. Oh, it's that Drew. Hey, Drew. So we got Shellback, Drew, and Dab and Dana so far. How's it going, guys? How's it going, Drew?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. It's raining, kind of semi-snowing, spring weather, but pretty good. Graham got COVID again.
I'm recovering from COVID again.
Feeling better?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. But my girlfriend's hurting big time. Like I'm worried about her a little bit. So it's a bit serious here in the house right now. She's been puking and everything. I thought she was doing better yesterday, but I don't know. Today again, just So every bone in her body's hurting. I think it's a combination of things. Apparently, my friend has Norwalk virus too. He's puking and diarrhea from that. So maybe she's got like a hybrid going on or something.
I heard the monkeypox are going around too. So triple whammy.
We're gonna have to be dodging all these new things during our CACs.
You don't want CAC viruses. How about you, Drew? You made it home safe?
Yeah, it was a good trip back. Yeah.
Yeah?
Just flew out of Vegas and a couple hour drive home from there.
Did you have a good time?
That was the best. Yeah, it was even better than last year.
Well, that's always good to hear. That's always good to hear. What about you? Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, they're both awesome, but yeah, it was just almost even more special.
Are you going to come back?
People again, and
are you going to come back?
Yeah, to something for sure. I don't know if I'll be. We'll see about Utah next year, but
why do you think it was better this year? Besides me being there?
Yeah, well, you were there. That's number one. Which is fun. Like, you know, I didn't know anyone last year going. So it was super fun to see everyone again, you know, build on the relationships from, you know, we made the past time around and just kind of trade stories with everyone else on like, you know, what they've been through the last year. And so that was pretty fun too.
What about you, Steve? Did you make it back to San Diego all right?
Yeah, I wish I stayed in Vegas with Bill and T-Bone, but, you know, the old lady was calling. She wasn't happy I went to begin with, so I had to pull off like 3 times to, you know, nap off the side of the freeway. So made it back like 3 or 4 in the morning, went to sleep, had a long discussion about, you know, my behavior. But, you know, it's all good.
About your good behavior? I thought you were on your best behavior all weekend.
I was on my best behavior the whole weekend, yeah. Absolutely.
Totally. Did you have a good time at CAC? Was it worth the trouble?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm going again next year. So, little sister's and like excited. So, you know, I told her about it and she's like, I really want to go. So we'll see. And by little sister, I mean, she's 32. So.
Dav and Dana, the resident traveling dispensary.
What's going on, man?
Are you guys actually in the garage or is that a green screen?
That's his garage.
Oh, that's the garage. Pick when you want us to start.
I can barely hear you. I can hear Dana fine.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's better.
Okay. We'll talk with our outside boy.
How was the trip home?
It was good. Lots of miles. Not nearly as many as some see. I think we did just under 3,000.
We lost a tire though, so that's our only downfall. But it was fun. Out in the middle of nowhere, and the road we popped the tire on was County Road 91.1. But we made it happen. It was fine.
You had a spare?
No, we had a patch and a little mini air compressor kit, and this guy was out there and plugged it and called it a day, and then we backtracked to the nearest city and stayed the night there and ended up bowling for the night, so we're fine.
Yeah, luckily for my birthday, she got me this little travel air compressor jammy that fits right in the backpack. And it's just like battery powered USB, plug it in. We had hit something on the road, I guess. It was I didn't see anything. And we were just cruising in the middle of the desert. I didn't see nothing. And she was sleeping. I was just cruising. I'm like, what the hell? No phone service, no nothing. Like, and she kind of wakes up, like, is everything cool? I'm like, I just want to pull over and check and hop out. And it was just blasting off, going down. And we're like, all right, well, we were planning on going another like 7 hours or something tonight, but I think this is the signal to not. You know? And then so we basically patched it up, put the compressor on it, filled it back up. And like, she was like around for some places to stay, and she's like, well, there's this cool hotel that's got a bowling alley, like in the parking lot, basically. And we can basically just get drinks there and hang and stay the night at the hotel. And so we ended up going back there and chilling, having a great time after we fixed the tire and everything. So it's kind of an omen.
Tire's still doing good to this day, though, so don't mind.
Was it worth it?
So worth it.
Always.
Looking to, explore, because we've been to the Pagosa and then we've been to, Utah. Looking to explore on other CACs as well. So I'm excited.
Shasta's coming up. That's going to be a fun one out in California. I've never been really to California, so that'll be interesting. I heard there's 2 mountains there we can climb. So we'll jump over.
Yeah,
go ahead. You're from around there? Aren't you guys from right around there?
Shasta's a little closer to Oregon, and we're from basically right around Tahoe. And so different, side of the Sierra Nevadas, but Shasta is awesome, and never really explored up much around there, but heard a lot about, lots of, extraterrestrial phenomena happening. And even at Pagosa, when we'd mentioned we were from Northern California, people would mention Shasta, and there's another couple little places, and it gets closer to that time we could talk about maybe checking out. But there's lots to see out there. That's the good part of California, if you're going to pick one. No disrespect, Shelly. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, let's go hunt for some portals, Let's go find some portals.
Yeah, definitely. There's tons of stuff up there. I heard old Twisty Tops got over there checking out hikes for us.
Oliver Twist?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's on Running Point on Shasta hikes. Hopefully he doesn't get abducted by anything or go through any portals or Graham's portals. And it'll all turn out all right. I guess now we'll jump over to Kate, who I think just finally got home today.
Hey, yeah. I got home at 4:44 and I'm exhausted, but I'm really glad to be home.
How's Ryan?
Thankfully, no car trouble at all. There was like one spot headed into Denver that I noticed up ahead of me, something in the road, and the roads were like all horrible through there anyway. And then it was like something wooden had fallen off of someone's vehicle. It was like a board or something. So I missed that, thank goodness. I also had a crazy thing happen on my way there, though, that I don't think I told anyone about. But on the way there, coming through, I think Wolf Creek Pass or whatever up there, there was a truck in front of me. Well, I was getting tailgated by someone, and then he passed me, thank goodness. And so then I came up to him as he got caught behind this other truck that had a bunch of bales of hay stacked on it, precariously looking. So thankfully, he also passed them, and then I gave them plenty of room because eventually those bales of hay did fall off that truck. And thankfully, I was far enough behind that I could slow down and not hit any of them. So, yeah. CAC was so awesome.
Did you make Ryan jealous for skipping?
I mean, I didn't have to do anything to make him jealous because, yeah, I think he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, he won't miss the next one. So you had a good time?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I always do.
What was your favorite part?
Well, I mean, it's all awesome. I mean, it's all so awesome. The breathwork is always good, so I enjoyed that. But the stargazing this year, I feel like I remembered things from last year, which was really cool, and I've built on it, and I went out last night. I stayed at my cousin's and we were smoking on his rooftop porch. And so I pointed out Polaris and how you find that. And I explained how the sky moved. So that's really exciting. But the best part really is the social part. I love meeting all my internet friends, and I love seeing the people who are repeaters of CAC that I've met before, and it's just awesome.
Glad to hear it. Thanks for coming, Kate. I'm sure we'll see you in Shasta.
Yeah.
We'll be down in Idaho right away. We just missed you by a few weeks.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll bump into you in Idaho. Speaking of Idaho, how's it going, Mike?
Just right, man. Just right. Living the dream over here. Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. All these smiling faces. Kate, Dan, and Dana. Steve, I see you all the time, but yeah, man. Stoked to be here.
You see Steve all the time?
Yeah, just on Discord, fucking cruising with steak, part of my language, cruising with steak. And yeah, man, I've been keeping up with a few people since we left CAC, a couple text threads, a few different people. So it's been really good.
I forget about Discord sometimes. It's been so long since I was on there. What was your favorite part of CAC?
Man, I don't know. The nightlife, I suppose, was fun this year. I had a good time. The last night in your cabin was a fun night for me. Still working through all that. But it was great.
Well,
man,
we weren't supposed to talk about that.
Graham was a highlight because he wasn't there last year. So having Graham around was super cool this year. I enjoyed that part of it for sure.
Graham's always fun. It's always fun. Just so everyone knows that there was not a sexual encounter in the cabin that Mike's talking about. It was something totally different.
That's okay.
Or
we
was
judge
it?
you. I mean,
Or was it?
Yeah, you got to come to CAC to find out. Contact@thecabin.com. Well, we'll open up for like group discussion once we sort of get through everybody. But let's jump down to Bruce, who I guess we'll see again in just a couple of weeks. But this was, I think you're actually, no, it was Steve's first time too. So this was your first time coming to a non-Randall event. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, except for the last third of our long hike that Garth and I did. Kind of wore myself out. My knee is still bad. So
16 miles seemed super aggressive.
Yeah, well, we had no idea it was quite that long or quite that exciting at the end.
And that was if you would have added Angels in, that would have been what, another mile?
Oh, there's no way. We just laughed as we walked by. Yeah, but we came down almost all of Angels because that you come down the same way you go up. That's pretty rigorous just going to Angels Landing.
Especially at the end of a day of hiking.
Yes, that made it a little difficult.
So what was your experience other than that? What was your favorite part?
Well, that evening, drinking enough beer, so I felt better. But but it was cool meeting a lot of new people and getting to catch up with a few people that I've seen the last couple times last year. And hopefully going to see a bunch of them again, in 3 weeks?
I think it's closing in on 3 weeks. It's probably 4 weeks away until the Montana tour. Yeah. With Randall
that'll be
Carlson.
An interesting one.
It's the first time we're doing it, so that's always a little bit, here we go. But everything seems to be lining up okay, so I think it'll be a good time. But yeah, I was glad to hear you had a good time and made it back. And you're driving all the way from Portland, aren't you?
Yeah.
When you come up, that's a beautiful drive.
Did you get in touch with David?
Yes, I forgot he was not coming.
Yeah, so I think he had paid something and you were going to refund him or whatever?
Yeah, I'll get him his deposit back.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Now we got Laura. Are you coming to Montana, Laura?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Did you have a good time?
I have to get up there still. I had some trailer issues. So hopefully those are getting resolved either as we speak or tomorrow, and get back on the road. I almost had a wheel fall off, so that was interesting.
Did you have any lasting effects from the side-by-side flip?
No, just a appreciation for the magic of CAC, not dying. Yeah, it was a close call. We did okay. It was a slow impact.
A slow flip.
Yeah, it was slow-mo.
Slow-mo flip. Too bad we didn't have it on tape. That would have been the perfect way to end that promo video.
On a GoPro, just have you
And the snake roast saved the day. It was great.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. I had a good time.
Did you think it was better than last year, worse, or the same?
I think it was better. What was it? We had the extra day, right?
We did have an extra day.
So that makes all the difference because, last time it was super rushed. So you get to know people a little better. And, a little more time to do different things. I think next time we need to go on some other hikes, though. That's what I want to do.
New hikes.
Yeah, new hikes.
I mean, we should take everyone on the 15-miler.
See who makes it the farthest?
See who makes it. We do have a pretty strong waiver. It's getting better.
Maybe bring the side-by-sides.
That would be all right. Or a little dirt bike. Someone would fall off, though.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of having an entire one that's just all doing that kind of stuff. That sounds like a good time.
Cruising around Moab and quads and side-by-sides.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's jump over to Gary. And did you guys, Gary and Jamie, who made it back to Ohio, right?
Yeah, we finally made it all the way back. We were dragging our feet trying to come up with things to do, just so we could get back as late as we possibly could. I got a buddy in Southern Ohio who moved down there about 4 years ago, and I was like, well, we still haven't seen Dave's house yet, so we should definitely go to Dave's house on the way home.
You guys had a whole week to get home, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, we were gone for the whole 2 weeks in total, so I didn't have to be at work till that next Sunday. Or Monday, yeah.
Oh, you must have been excited to go back.
Yeah. It gets 2 weeks is a long time. You get like an itch to, I need to make something and get to making stuff, yeah.
Did you guys have fun?
Absolutely.
Totally.
You guys were 2-timers too, right? This is your second time coming out?
Yeah, second time to Utah. But we went to Pagosa together, and then I also went to Seaside.
You came out to Seaside, yeah, that's right, out on the beach. So you've been to basically every event almost. We'll have to get you out to Scablons.
Yeah, if I could afford a Randall event, I would definitely go for sure.
Randall's pricey. That's the problem.
We're waiting to hear about Hawaii.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to homie Romy about that like 2 days ago. So it looks like it'll be July next year. And it'll be all camping and like pig roast and all that sort of stuff on the Big Island. It looks like it's going to be quite a time out there. So
yeah, that sounds awesome.
We'll get details for that out probably in the next couple of months. In the next 6 to 8 weeks, we should be able to start selling tickets for that. And then, of course, we're trying to figure out something we can do in Canada because there's a bunch of Canadians without shots that want us to do something where that they can go to. And it seems since we are from Canada, we should, maybe appease them. And we might have encouraged them not to get their shots. But yeah, I guess that's everyone is here. So we'll open it up, or I'll turn it over to Graham for a bit and see if he has any questions for you guys.
Well, I have a couple comments. I mean, first of all, I just love seeing you all again here and meeting everybody. And I find it amazing how you can just sort of roam around and just chit chat with anybody about everything. And it's, it's not really like a cliquey kind of thing. Like I was thinking about, well, if I had to just sort of choose my van or whatever, like I wouldn't even be able to choose who I would want in my van. It's like anybody come and it's fantastic. Like, and to see how many people just stayed back to hang out on that free day, like on the day that the flex day, and people just wanted to hang out at the lodge. So it's pretty cool. People were just content with just socializing with each other. And so that's kind of my impression. I liked it. I'd like to do different hikes as well, maybe, but I thought it was a pretty good pace. I hope that everybody felt like it was organized enough, but not too organized. So we would like feedback on that kind of stuff, That's about it. I'd just love to hear what people think and what they want to do next time or other times. Or it's been great.
I thought the flex day was definitely a great addition for sure. We ended up going on that Narrows hike, and being that it was the same hikes as last year, and they're great hikes to go on, but to go on a new one, that was cool. And who doesn't love a water feature? So it was basically hiking the river the whole way up.
I think we're kind of sold a bit of a lie on that one though. Like, you hike along the river, and every now and then you cross the river, and it's like the opposite. It's like every now and then you actually hit dry ground.
Yeah.
I don't trust when Dave says it's an easy hike. I don't trust that anymore, like at all.
Yeah, because he said that Bryce is no big deal. And to get it back up out of Bryce is kind of a steep switchback.
It's no big deal just till the end, though. He forgets about the end. Even I forget about the end till you're like 3/4 of the way through and you're like, wait a second. This is that one with that fucking switchback at the end.
Yeah.
That goes on forever, though. It's not just a little bit. I mean, it's just you're walking straight up a fucking mountain. It's brutal.
It's kind of like what it must be, like in an African diamond mine by hand, like where you're just down in the pit chipping away and then climbing up those switchbacks. How'd they get the stroller up?
Somebody has
they didn't take it.
I think they went back.
They went back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Going back can't be much better.
No, it's not.
Have you gone the other way?
Me? No. But I could just tell. Didn't seem any better.
It'd be a long uphill.
Yeah, it's not as steep, but it's like way long.
Yeah.
Very meandering.
And a lot of little ball-bearing rocks, that kind of stuff.
Looks like we got Mike here, Mike Weeks from Montana. How's it going, Mike?
Maybe not.
We can hear you.
Are you there, Mike?
Uh-oh, we scared him.
He doesn't look.
Maybe they can't see me. So, what would you guys like to see added? I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are going to come back to Utah. It's probably most of you guys have been to 2 Utahs, probably want to try out something different. But what do you think we should add or take away, or, how should we change it up? And who's planning on coming back?
We're definitely looking forward to coming back. We were talking to Dave on the last day about how it might be cool to, instead of just doing the one night where we go and get super crazy with the Ophiuchus going out there to the point, just getting hard on O'Brien and everything, where instead of just going so crazy and going out to the point, staying out there all night, or each night kind of doing like an hour or two at midnight or something out at that pond that's kind of right down the road from the cabin, because I think that'd be pretty bitching to see, you know, all the madness with, you know, through the sky and then it reflecting off the pond too. I didn't get a chance to go out there. Everybody said it was sick though. And maybe instead of spending like a whole evening doing the one crazy blowout, do kind of like a stargazer, jammy, you know, little ride in the van every night. Because a lot of people want to go do the 4 a.m. stuff, but not everybody's laser picking Jamie, you know, getting up every night and making it happen. We can't all just make dreams come true like that, you know. We're trying out here. But some of us, including them on occasion, didn't even get to sleep till 5.
I think we should move the 5 a.m. to 3 a.m. And I think a lot more people would be there.
Yeah. Or
Great
even
idea.
midnight. Everybody's definitely awake at midnight or whenever, but then a little bit every night would be better. You know, if I feel like Dave is the host, you know, the guest, and almost like we didn't focus on the stars as much as we should have. I feel like, yeah, probably.
Well, one of the best parts that I remember for the stars was just at the fire, and he was pointing that one night at the end when everybody went out, and he was pointing out, and it finally really clicked to me, like the North Star and how they all move around, and the undying. He showed the undying stars, you know, that he based his book on. So I mean, some of those just ad hoc ones were pretty cool. But I agree. I don't know if that whole journey out to that thing is worth the cold skywatch for. You know, yeah, you're at that spot where you can see everything well, but it's probably not that much better than just seeing them down the road from our place.
I think next year we're going to do a trip each night to the pond, but we'll also do the Bryce. Because if you've never been to Bryce, you probably want to check it out.
I appreciated the Bryce.
Well, I think the Bryce part is very much worth it because you have a lot of like no light pollution. You get to see everything in the sky for what it is, but also the little in betweens would be kind of cool to refresh because even this go around, you know, we look in the sky and I can remember what we learned about the last time at Bryce, and you can apply it better to the night sky as you normally would see it, without being able to see every single star, without all the light pollution. So I think both would be kind of cool.
It is cold, though. I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
Sometimes you get a little extra mileage.
Some type of heaters of some kind.
I'll be wearing
Dan
pants.
and Dana had those little electronic hand heaters, and those were great.
Yeah, the hand heaters and the mushrooms work perfect.
And yeah, just a little something.
Yeah.
For warm. And yeah, I mean, if we could have some kind of little space heaters or something, you know, gas-powered heaters, that wouldn't hurt. It's cold out there.
Just wear warm clothes.
I was in a blanket in several layers.
Oh, well, you know.
The way I keep warm is realizing that Dave just got on pants and a Speedo, and that's it.
In a Russian hat.
That's it. It's a 3-piece.
Wasn't someone in
and a-
shorts?
Mike's blanket and Dan's hat were lifesavers, and I appreciate it. You guys, much love.
Yeah, send that back. My mom crocheted that. I'd like that back.
I will. My wife wants to wash it, so.
Oh, okay, cool, man. No worries. I'm just fucking with you.
What'd you do?
She wants to smell it first.
She wanted to make sure Mike was a dude, first of all.
Not Michelle.
Yeah.
Did you have a good trip, Mike?
I did, yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I had a great trip. It was awesome. I did love the stars. I thought the Bryce trip that part was great. I like that part because you're on that big thing. You can really see everything. I think we should try to find a place, or you should try to find a place closer, though, that has as good a view. I think you can probably do it.
There's probably some spots down that highway, but the problem is the pullouts are kind of sketchy, and I just get worried about this bunch out on the highway. You know, everyone's all stoned up. That's kind of the reason that, you know,
With good reason.
We're trying to balance the hike without, you know, killing anybody.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I like that.
Even with a strong waiver, it's never good for business if someone falls off a cliff. I mean, it's funny because I'm usually on the edge of the cliff, but my stomach's in my balls whenever anyone else goes within like 6 feet of it. It's just like, eesh.
And they always do.
Oh yeah.
They're, as soon as we're there, somebody's over the fence, right up to the edge. Brad's up, you know, in the breeze, catching a breeze on the edge of a cliff.
Well, and this is America too. You don't have railings everywhere. In Canada, you wouldn't even be allowed in those spots.
We're going to get there. Don't worry.
Buddy.
Another thing, if we do multiple little tiny Dave trips, you get smaller little groups of people that will just want to go. Other people don't want to go. And then you get like a little bit of extra magic sometimes when you get tiny groups with Dave. Where there's a lot of, you know, jokes, and you get a little bit more of an in-depth story time sometimes.
Dave is one of them.
Good. Yeah, I'll take it. So, and actually, if we went at different hours of the evening, I think Dave would be the first one to say, we can get these constellations right at the beginning of the night, and then, you know, at 4 o'clock in the morning, there'll be different stars in the sky, you know, because of the Zeppelin.
Yeah.
We should just camp Dave out at the pond, and then we'll just go back and forth to him whenever we want. He's just there.
Just station him out there.
We should do both at once.
Yeah.
So we should do the start.
Can you get to the pond on ATVs?
On side by side? I think you can.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Can you rent those for the whole weekend and drive them at night?
They start to get expensive they start to get expensive when you go out past the 8 hours. But theoretically, yes, you could. I was thinking more that on the last night, we all do the cold water we all get in the pond and do the cold water under the stars while Dave's in his Speedo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bang. Hell
yeah.
I'll be on the shore taking the picture.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's a great idea, though. That's bringing it right back to ancient times.
Yeah, as above, so below.
We have
the next meeting, then instead of cactals, we all get cac speedos.
Oh,
it's hard.
I was going to say parachutes, so that people don't fall off the side. If we fall off the side of a cliff, we're all strapped just in case.
Cat parachutes.
Speedos too. That'd be a good combo.
Yeah, but it's hard to pick the size. I mean, someone's getting offended. Someone's getting offended.
Smaller the better. Yeah.
Well,
somebody's
just get a bunch of small Speedos and that's it.
I'll take the extra small.
Fat guys will fit right into those small Speedos.
That'll be perfect for the butt darts later.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, you don't want to see that.
Butt darts, we're not going to talk about too much. That's like a cack surprise.
Well, that's all we have to say.
Butt darts is a surprise. It's a great surprise. It's a fantastic surprise. But it's part of the late night thing, you know. You got to stay up late for the butt darts.
So I really enjoyed the flex day, like getting to meet my internet friends in 3D and like actually getting to sit down and talk, you know, and meeting Dan and Dana. I drove with T-Bone from Vegas. Also, like walking through Bryce with Graham, you know, is pretty epic, man. Like that's a dude I've looked up to for at least 2 years now.
Then you finally got to look down to him.
Thanks, buddy.
You know, I use my language on purpose. So, and then you know, Laser Pig and Jamie. It's good to see you guys. Kate,
good to see you.
Yeah, Mike, of course. I wish. I always want to call him Tyrone, but Travis. But yeah, it was a blast, and I'm coming back next year for sure.
Yeah, I am too.
Back to Utah.
Yeah, of course, Utah, and like I'm looking at Shasta.
Because you retire
Shasta is
right
like
away.
twice the distance from Utah for me.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, California is probably like 3 times the size of the UK. I'm going to
That's
the
huge.
UK. I took an extra day so I could see all of the UK. I just figure I'll rent a car and drive around the whole thing in an afternoon and then head out.
Avoid Glasgow, man. It's a bunch of unruly Scots up there.
Honestly, I don't think I'm even going to rent a car. I was looking at the roads down around the airport and I was just like, fuck that. I will just walk or take, I don't know, a taxi or an Uber. It looked intimidating to drive in.
I'll drive in the UK.
No problem. I don't believe
So
it.
I have a story about driving in the UK, and it's like it's not a good story. Like, if you could die from embarrassment, I would be dead.
Let's hear it.
So we pulled into Fastlane, Scotland, which is like their nuclear sub base, and my ship was like, all right, who knows how to drive a manual? I'm like, yeah, I do. Little did I know, like they drive on the opposite side of the car, so like my left hand is the one, and I'm right-handed, and my left hand's essentially useless. So like I do my first run out to town and come back, and I come back through the wrong entrance. Like I'm on the opposite side of the road that I should be on, like into oncoming traffic, going into a base, and these dudes have like submachine guns, and they're just fucking laughing at me. And like I can't get the fucking car into gear, and I'm all fucking flustered. And the dude's like, "Hey man, I'll take care of it. Move over." And like he actually says like it's a good thing you can't die of embarrassment. So he got me turned around, and I almost ended up killing like a whole ship's worth of people later on that night. But that's another story.
With a grenade or something?
No, because I almost went off the road with the damn stupid car that, you know, like I'm like, so I drive with my wheel hand is my left hand. So I was just, you know, discombobulated driving the car. So I hit the curb, almost flipped the van. So, you know, a quick way to make a bunch of drunk sailors shut the fuck up is to kill them.
Probably the only way.
So you
End of
saying
story.
you can drive a standard, no problem in the UK, Graham? No problem. He'll drive us around London.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I drove all the way down from England to Greece and back through the Eastern Bloc. But I mean, there's a
In a
couple times
standard?
where I don't think it was a standard. It was a
That would be
station
a
wagon. but
crazy
I could-
switch. I don't know if
Yeah,
I could
it-
shift gears with my clutch foot and everything switching around.
No, I think it's the same feet. It's the same position on your feet. It's
Pedals
just
are the
your-
same. The shifter's
Yeah,
just
pedals
in
are the
the
same.
middle.
It's just
You're
the
on the other
shifter,
side.
Yeah.
So
But I got stuck in Milan. Like I gave up. I was in gridlock in the downtown Milan, and I fucking couldn't get through these roundabouts and take the right turn. I stopped and got out and had my buddy take over from me. I was just about to lose it. And that happened in Athens too. Like literally stuck between walls in the middle of Athens where you just can't go. Like I couldn't even open up the doors or anything. And I just fucking gave up again and climbed out. And I'm like, dude, you got to back us out of here. I can't do it. So.
Huh.
It does get hairy in Europe,
That'd
but
be
they're
fun.
so good. Their drivers, they're so good at driving in there. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I don't. It's that if you're not filling me with confidence for you renting your car and driving us around. I mean, you're just telling me you're going to give up on me. You're
No,
just
I mean
gonna-
it. I mean
you're
it
just
all. I
gonna
mean, besides
throw
that, I
on
mean,
the
all the way
hazards in a
down,
roundabout and be
back,
like, "Sorry, bro, I can't even. I can't even." Casey just joined us. Did you have a fun CAC?
It was the worst time I've ever had in my whole life.
I could tell.
It was absolutely amazing. Good to see old faces. Good to make some new friends, and the fact that I got to bring my brother along, his mind was blown, so he's already coming back to the next one. So it's totally a Farrell tradition, I think, that's happening now. So we got another one.
Yes, I noticed that you and your brother were actually the first two people to rejoin.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
So, since you just got here, what was your favorite part of this year, and what do you think we should change for next year?
I think I think it's a tie for favorite. The side by side, and then the Virgin River dip, I think was my two favorites. So what I'd change next year, that's really tough because they're so different every year. But I think everybody should have a chance to freaking go on an off-road nutso adventure and get super dirty and just be out there in the craziness of Utah. That was so cool.
The cave was cool too. We found a cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big highlight. And then obviously the jumping into Zion, that was, you can't pass up that opportunity. That was amazing. Faking out Dave Mathisen with the water plunge. That was a good sight to see too.
Man, can you imagine if Dave would have seen the side-by-side flip? He might have cried.
Maybe. Maybe he shouldn't do it.
Oh yeah, he was super worried to even hear about it. It was good. It was like slow motion. I remember the bros coming running over because we were having trouble getting out of our seatbelts.
Oh yeah.
It took us all a minute to get out of your seatbelts because you're hanging.
Thankfully, I would have been crushed by Brandon Powell, I think.
Oh, if it wasn't for the seatbelt? Yeah, you definitely want the seatbelt.
I'm glad they worked. Yeah.
That must have been weird. You just have Brandon hanging over you.
Hanging. Yeah.
But
you'd be like, fully in.
Yeah. Can we breathe our way out of this, Brandon?
You just hold on to those handles.
Yeah.
Well,
and then that doesn't even. He's lucky because then we don't mention his little close call that we had with when he was driving as well. So.
Oh yeah.
He managed to pull out of it. So.
What happened when he was driving?
We went up over the.
The jump.
Yeah, we had a huge jump.
I thought we were gonna flip end over end.
Just for a second.
Yeah, it was
all right.
We highly recommend the side by sides if you sign the waiver. Of course, everyone can go.
I highly recommend the
seatbelts and helmets.
Helmets and the
goggles.
The goggles.
Maybe a balaclava too.
You think you don't? Yeah.
And then if you guys, of course, if someone comes next year and they want to pay extra, they can drive their own side by side. And I wonder if, of course, he didn't make it, but I wonder if Michael got his deposit back. His unit was in rougher shape than mine when it went back, and he didn't even flip it.
Oh yeah, they had a crazy overheating problem. The gas was boiling inside the thing. That was pretty wild.
That's right.
Maybe Laserpig and myself and some of the other builders in the group need to work on building a Grimerica fleet of our own so we can just bring to each event.
All right.
There you go.
That sounds like what's up to me.
We'll get a car carrier.
No, absolutely nothing. Just go open up the storage unit and rip.
We'll just put them all in a sea can stacked 2 layers high.
I can try to acquire some gas turbine engines for propulsion.
That'd be good. You should just get us a hovercraft.
Oh, I mean,
there you go.
I could. But, we'd have to go to Mexico with it and then probably piece it out from the Mexican government.
Contacting
Cancun. Yeah.
Sounds like an op. What about just a different event. What do you guys? Any ideas for events? Who's all coming? Is anyone coming to Egypt this year?
I am.
Bruce and Mike. Bruce and Mike are coming to Egypt. That's going to be an adventure too.
Yes. I don't know how much food I can fit up my ass. I'm going to be honest.
More than you think. More than you think.
You can help me there.
Can you get some pre-rolls up there too?
If anybody remembers the pharmacy with an F, I don't got booty like that.
I know someone that does. I mean, just saying.
Well.
Oh, you okay? Go ahead, take it. Quarter drops.
I've been what's the word I'm looking for? Assured that it won't be a problem. For that I don't need to stick anything up my butt, and I'll still be able to get some smokables, and I'm looking forward to it. I think Graham and I are going to stay an extra night. Maybe, well, at least I'm going to stay. I don't know what Graham's going to do yet. He's still on the lam from the government in a lot of ways. So I might stay an extra night or two in the UK, in London, Bruce. If you're going through, we should connect on that if you want to hang out for a day or two in London.
You may on the way back?
On the way there. I figure on the way back, I'm probably just going to want to get the fuck home as quickly as possible.
Okay, yeah, because you got kids.
Yeah. So if that's something anyone who's going is interested in.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I think I might head out of here the night of the 9th, so I'm there on the 10th, and then maybe head into Egypt on the 12th. But I got to get permission from Ben to show up late, because they said they wanted us in by 2, but the flight I'm looking at out of London doesn't get there till 5. But if I have to get my own dinner, that's not the end of the world. So what about a different event? Is there anywhere you guys would like to see us go, or a speaker you'd like to see us do an event with? I know what Gary's going to say.
Ben and Michael Wan.
Wow, that's so crazy. I was just thinking I was going to mention I'm a Synchro Mystic event.
Or if we did like a Shakespeare one with Alan, that would be awesome.
Well, Alan's right up in there and all that synchronicity stuff too.
Mm-hmm. That would be so cool.
I don't know who you would do, but I was talking to someone about doing a dowsing and maybe like gold mining and like looking for like precious stones and that kind of stuff. Event.
Ooh, I should get a claim and just get you guys out there.
I love that
free
idea.
Labor.
A crystal hunt event. Yeah.
You don't get to go home till you get me a quarter ounce of gold.
Yeah, well, okay, so that would be like the thing. It would be the first event you could make your money back. No, you could go for free if you.
I know a pretty good spot in the mountains of Idaho that we could go to.
Exactly.
It is the gem state.
Yeah, in Idaho. Yeah.
You guys
got a little bit of
land
in a cool spot.
You guys got to legalize the weed. That's the biggest downfall of Idaho right now.
No, that's the best thing going for Idaho right now, honestly, because otherwise it would be so overrun with people that it'd be unreal. I got to go 30 minutes to get weed. I mean, it's not a big deal for me. I'm right on the border.
My butthole's always a little puckered up. That I'm gonna
yeah. I mean, come for vacation, leave on probation is the state motto.
Yeah.
So I mentioned a few times that I'm looking at buying land in New Hampshire, and like this current property I'm looking at is 110 acres, and it comes with a quartz mine.
Oh wow!
Badass.
But it's probably not going to be ready for inhabitation. It's going to take me time to get out there and build it up. But if you're still doing CAC in like a year and a half, 2 years, like I'm planning on like maybe putting in like a Grand Lodge, huge area for the meeting, and then just rooms and shit. So,
Mike from Utah, Idaho. Did I tell you about that guy we had on who was
Montana?
Was
Idaho? Oh yeah, there's two Mikes side by side. You guys should have a war.
Big Sky Mikes, you can call us.
I can't see which side he's on.
He's on the left.
He was. They were pickaxing mining for these thunderstones. Did I tell you? I think it was in Idaho or Eastern Oregon, maybe.
Awesome.
And they picked through one and it blew up and caused all the smoke to come out of it in the hole they were in. And the guy got sick for his stepdad got sick for like life from this fucking smoke on a thunderstorm. Yeah.
From a thunder egg?
Yeah, thunder egg. Yeah,
that's insane.
What?
So you've heard of these thunder eggs before?
Oh yeah, we go looking for thunder eggs all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun. The kids love it. Yeah.
What are they like?
They're just like they look like a rock, but you crack them open and they have quartz inside. Or if you find a cool one, they'll have something cooler inside.
So it's like a geode in a way.
Yeah, it's like a geode exactly.
Oh, okay. Is it just a fancy name for a geode? Or?
I think so. As far as I know, I could be wrong on that, but that's what we've always kind of just called geodes. Yeah.
Ooh, that would be
a cooler
fun.
name.
Well, I think we'll also be doing something down in the snake pit in 2024. The eclipse kind of rolls right through snake country. So we'll probably look at doing something there. I mean, unless there's a better path, but I mean, maybe there's a better path.
That seems like the best path. I
Be a pretty good spot.
down in Texas in the spring would be the best chance of clear weather, I think.
Yeah, I don't see anywhere else along the path that I'm like, well, it's more likely to be clear there than Texas, and that's on April 8th, 2024.
Because isn't it tornado? It's tornado weather further north.
Yeah, so it goes through like right through San Antonio, almost a little ways away, Austin, Dallas, Indianapolis, Arkansas, lower Missouri, kind of close to Nashville.
Yeah, I should definitely have it in Snakeville.
Yeah, I think it seems fitting. And then it's like East Coast, but that's all sort of country that you have no idea what the weather's going to do.
So you're talking about Kerrville?
Kerrville, Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Just about.
That area.
Yeah. I've got a KOA. Actually, a friend of mine and I have 2 KOA camp spots there already reserved.
Oh,
that's
really?
right.
Oh,
you
yeah.
reserve 50 more?
Yeah, Bruce.
I can give you access to the guy's name.
I wonder how much they charge you. But yeah, we're looking at doing something for the eclipse down there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll
guaranteed.
have.
I've already been planning that for since the last one.
Where'd you see the last one?
Up in Oregon.
Oh yeah, I seen the last one.
Yeah, me and my friend David, we went. It was pretty damn amazing.
Me and Dave Mathisen were 10 miles from each other, and we didn't realize it until after the fact. I was just
That's funny.
just east or just west of Longview, Oregon, I suppose.
Longview, Washington.
Yeah.
Southern Washington, probably.
I was in Oregon, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were up on top of a mountain. It was great. Camped out.
It was a good time. Once you see one, you're like,
beautiful
man, I got to
weather.
do
Got
that
a little
again.
hazy, and that was. But geez, when that happens, I did not expect the cold weather to show up. Remember
It's funny how quick it gets cold, right? And the
it
weird,
gets
like,
real cold, real quick.
Yeah.
and the weird bugs come out, and you hear like the evening critters come out for a second, and all that. So yeah, we're gonna do something down there for 2024, I'm sure. But other than that, what else you guys want to see?
Is the Azores ever going to be a thing?
I'd like to say yes.
That'd be super cool.
I'd like to say yes. We're kind of working on it, but the world's like it just weird. I mean, we've been doing through these events through kind of some tumultuous times around the globe, but they seem to be working so far. So we're working towards that. I'd like to say.
And if we find Atlantis in Egypt, then that might just cancel out the Azores trip.
Cool.
Real quick, Graham, a thunder egg is similar to a geode. It's a hollow rock with like a mineral deposits on the inside. I think it's just a geode, but cooler, basically.
That's the official definition.
A cooler geode. Well, I mean, I think that's about all I got. Does anyone else have anything else before we start wrapping up? Anything they want to say?
The River Mountain is coming up soon if anyone still wants to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Do you guys have like a side chat or someplace where you guys are where people can go to get in on that if they want to meet you guys there? Sort of unofficial CAC event you guys are doing?
Yeah, we'll have to set a page up or something.
Or I can make you guys a room in the chat. So you guys all in the chats?
I mean, I am.
Yeah, in the chats for sure. And honestly, I know this year it kind of interferes with the Scablands coming up right before it, and it's in the middle of the week or whatever. But that Serpent Mound Festival, the Friends of the Serpent, it's pretty sick. Like they go hard. It's a legit festival, and it's a bunch of super dope hippies hanging out, like praising the shadows, and like it's a weird little dynamic between like the kind of mainstreamers that are like part of the main mound experience, kind of, and then the outside the boxers kind of hang out on the other side of the grass or whatever, figuratively, and literally. And we found a pretty sweet place, that would host a decent sized crowd that would be a little bit more towards, primitive style camping or something, but full kitchen, everything right down the road from the Serpent Mound place. And they have speakers there already. And I know Graham Hancock's already been kicked out. He's not allowed back. And that says something for it, which is pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Dave heard about that and he about lost his mind because it was Brad and Randall and Graham went there, I think 3 years ago. And they ended up bringing security in to like have Graham removed. I might be talking off record here, but that's what I had heard from Brad, and they were all there together. And it was kind of a story. Okay, thank you, preach, brother, because it sounded so legit that it was like, all right, might need to start sniffing around a little harder then. You know what I'm saying? Because they put on a sweet event, and it's all not affiliated at all with the actual mound, like regulators and what have you. And they're not too the main mound proprietors aren't too fond of a lot of the speakers they have at the festival, because, and I wish Nicky B was here because he's actually like he's part of Friends of the Serpent Mound, like he goes to the events and things. And yeah, and they have speakers there that are a lot more, within the realm of the things that we're all kind of interested in, and I don't know how more delicately to say that, but Nicky B was very happy to see that there were people talking about giants.
We were there when that dude got up there, and he's like, "Oh, we have it's a white dude." He's like, "Well, we have all these native speakers, but before we get to that, anybody talking about giants is racist because that takes away from culture and this and that." And it was like the disclaimer before they even got started.
What?
Giants
You're racist now if you talk about giants? Oh my god.
Even did bring it up. Yeah.
And then went on a 30, 45 minute talk that was basically a shame parade on having any thoughts on anything that could possibly be, alternative timeline, alternative what the site could be meant for originally, and we were paying respect, because we were there we had never really been there, and we wanted to see the official, thing. And it was a big thing and a nice covered convention. And there's literally security guards, like armed officers, waiting for people that were coming from the festival to come to the other side to like start talking too much about what was going on the other side of the fence, essentially. And it was like, okay, well, maybe we need to take our sandals off and walk across this little seagrass right here and have ourselves a little earful. You know what I'm saying? And so we all stepped over there, and it was just like kombucha and wooden flutes, and beads and shit. It was blast. It was killer, dude. And like the main guy, Dave, the first night when we went to Utah, met up and hung out with Bruce and everybody, met Laura there. she brought the kiddies in, brought the house down, and Dave was hearing this about Graham Hancock not being allowed a certain mountain, and he was borderline offended, which we kind of all should be, being as that I'm sure that his butt has fed a huge percentage of the interest in the place, period. Who the fuck was thinking about Serpent Mountain before Graham Hancock? Let's shut the fuck up. Excuse me. But I mean, come on. Really? Did any of us really know something about it? No.
Well, it's always a thing, but definitely shedding that sort of light on it to get people to think about it in that sort of way.
What? How so?
There's a lot of things
They want to talk about how basically there's a bunch of plaques that say the Andeans just rolled in there and found it and cleaned it up, and that's it. And then they don't want to talk about who built it, why they built it. We were eavesdropping on one of the tour guides the year before. So this last year that we went, it was like a much larger native presence, and they had all these speakers and stuff. But then the year before that, it was like real low key, and there wasn't a whole lot going on. But there was a couple park ranger looking guys kind of giving some tours and talks, and I overheard him say that there used to be like a stone altar down on the front, and when they came in to clean it up, when Metro Parks or whoever bought it, they mashed that thing up and threw it down over the hill. So that's not even there, and no one wants to talk about the altar that was down there. And they let the trees grow up all crazy in the front, so you can't actually see the sun go down over the horizon and line up.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about that either. Why these trees are there.
And what they're doing is they're using these sort of progressive, sort of cultural appropriation talking points now, or something. Or you're being racist and offending these cultures that came after, or something.
By suggesting that giants had anything to do with constructing the mountain, you're taking away from their history.
Yeah. Crazy. That's good info.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really getting in. I mentioned this Tychos thing to all of you people, and I'm getting into the whole problems with Einstein and all of that stuff, and it's seriously crazy shit. The extent that there might be, just a fake model going on.
Oh, bro, it's just like there's like 30 fake models going on. There's at any given time.
They are fake models, and it's so anyway, it's interesting. Nobody wants you to really explore into these things, in depth.
Well, hopefully we can keep doing
that. When you see that cancellation at an event like that with Graham Hancock and this secure, that really just sums up how it's going to sort of get, right. It really
that's it. Yeah,
that narrative.
Yeah, that shows you there's a concerted effort to stifle creative thought around that area.
Yeah.
Darren, before I forget, there was that Higher Side Chats meetup group thing. Do you remember that? Should we talk about that? Maybe people can use that if they're doing.
That would be a good thing to use. Yeah.
So I'll put it in the chats here. But the Higher Side kind of has like an NA no agenda meetup kind of thing. I put a link in the chat here, and I'll put a link in the show notes there is always a link in the show notes to all our episodes. And it's called IRL Meetups, and it's the Higher Side Chat. So I think it's super easy just to pop up your own and let everybody know, and you can use that to manage any sort of other types of meetups.
Yeah, Greg encouraged us to use that. So,
yeah.
Well, right on, guys. I mean, first, I guess to wrap it up, we just want to say thank you, because if you guys didn't pay your hard-earned money and your hard-earned dollars to come to these events, we wouldn't be able to keep doing them. So big thanks to you guys for coming.
Yeah, it's great to see you all.
Thank you guys.
Big thanks to
Head over to contact@thecavern.com and get yourself in on one of these events, and maybe you'll be here on the next one talking about what a great time you had.
Gablands with Randall Carlson is always an amazing time.
We're getting good at that one too because we've done it.
We've done it a couple times now. Yeah. So Brad's got the itinerary down for that thing. It's a good time.
We got it nailed. And there's spots left. You can get in on a tour this year if you head over to contact@thecavern.com. Big thanks to all you guys for coming on the show. We hope to see you again in the very near future. Big thanks to all the listeners. And we hope to see you guys soon.
Teach me all your secrets to get a good handle on a better way to live. How does one get out of bed every day in the throes of the apocalypse? Should I bury my head in the sand or sabotage their evil plan? I feel really trapped, an ant burned by a magnifying glass. It's all a little bit too convenient, all the evidence went up in flames. Phonies, fraudsters, scammers belong in the slammer, my friend, best give up their names. Should I call on militiamen or pass out a petition pen? I feel really trapped, an ant burned by a magnifying glass. I don't know what y'all been told, but I got a soul made out of gold. Sound off, 1, 2, sound off, 3, 4, cadence count, 1, 2, a 3, 4. Some time ago a crazy dream came to me. I dreamt I was walking into World War III. As prophetic as humidity, as aching bones, as frantic animals. Sophia wrote it down, built an ark, now she floats it down a river dark. As prophetic as deja vu, as wormwood, as falling stars above. Sophia wrote it down, built an ark, now she floats it down a river dark. I can't even hear my own thoughts for the life of me over the din of a bruised and broken culture. The media spins and splatters and spins and clatters, and I cringe because it's psychological warfare. Don't you feel yourself getting really mad? How did we let it get this bad? Don't you feel really trapped, like a brain in a vat? Hard to close Pandora's box, but sirens are singing me off a cliff. I'm looking to hitchhike to Shangri-La over yonder. Sophia, would you give me a lift? Hopped out of the Hegelian rebellion. Say goodbye to all you Machiavellians. Let evil destroy itself. I'm bound for Shangri-La. 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 I'll let you be in my dream if I could be in yours. I'll let you be in my dream if I could be in yours. As prophetic as morning doves, as groundhogs, as fallen stars above. Sophia wrote it down, built an ark, now we're floating it down a river dark. As prophetic as white wolves, as butterflies, as rainbows. Sophia sings it now. We built a plane, now we're taking flight above a river bright.